It is time to give the official picks for this absolute atrocity of a UFC card. Going down at the Apex. They really don't care anymore. We got 10 fights to give you a pick on. And these are picks. Gun to your head type of picks. These are not bets. Okay, so don't take this as you should be throwing all your money on these picks. Please don't. If you want the bets, you could jump in the Home of Fight Picks Premium membership. That link will be down in the description. But these are picks. Who do I think is going to win? Gun to your head type of thing. Last week we were 9-3 or 9-4, which is okay, I guess. All 11 or 12 out of 13 fights, the favorites won. So I guess you could just pick favorites nowadays, and that's all it means. But we didn't do that. We're not going to do that here, but I can tell you we are going to take a good amount of favorites because it looks like this card could be favorite heavy. We'll see. But we'll start it off. First fight of the night, we got women's MMA. And on the early pick show, I took Alencar, and I'm sticking with it, man. I'm sticking with it. Because I don't really see much from Stephanie Luciano. All I see is that she's bigger, she's younger. And in the first fight, Alencar won the first 2 rounds. And according to her, she said she was just having really a hard time to breathe. She just couldn't breathe. She was so amped up because this is her Dana White Contender Series fight. Biggest opportunity of her life, probably. And she couldn't breathe in the 3rd round. She still managed to make it to a decision, ended in a draw. And then she goes in the UFC and she wins a fight. A very close split decision. Probably shouldn't have won it, but she won it. And since then, we haven't seen anything from Luciano. When I look back on Luciano's tape, she's okay. That's it. She's okay. Luciano's the favorite. I don't know. I can't really agree with it. I'm going to take Talita. I think she's got the better ground game. I know she's tough. I know she's going to go in there and throw with her little T-Rex arms. She's 4'11", and I'm going to take her, man. Women's MMA, I'm going to take the dog. Give me Talita Alencar, but it is not with a lot of conviction because this fight could really go either way, and probably the lowest level we could see at women's MMA at this point. So give me the Brazilian American here in Talita Alencar. Trains in South Florida too, so I got a rep. Up the card, we got Youssef Zalal and Jarno Errens. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be throwing Zalal in their parlays just for the mere fact that they think he's going to win, which is cool. That's cool, but he's minus 425, and I think that's growing. I am going to take him for the pick because I think he's the better all-around fighter, but if this fight's on the feet, Jarno Errens is going to have success. That's it. He's going to have success. He's going to be able to kickbox with Youssef Zalal, but the mere fact is that Errens has a terrible takedown defense. I think it's statistically like 28%. And Zalal, pretty good grappler. I do assume he's going to use that grappling eventually to try to get the fight down to the ground. And most of his wins in his career come by submission. So I think he could probably find a submission in this fight as well. So Youssef Zalal is the pick. Not saying anything too crazy there. He's a big favorite, and I think he should probably get this one done. If he doesn't, that would be a pretty big slip up. But be smart. Go for the takedowns. Take the path of least resistance. Because Jarno Errens ain't going to do much on the ground, and he should be able to get a win. So give me Zalal. Up the card, we got heavyweights, and there's a big part of me that wants to take Diniz here, but I just can't. I really can't. If you're getting taken down by Austin Lane and nearly TKO'd in the first round, Austin Lane ain't a wrestler. Okay, all he is an athletic ex-football guy with a bad chin. Carl Williams ain't that guy. Carl Williams is an actual, real good wrestler, especially at heavyweight. He is athletic himself, and he showed a pretty good chin in the UFC so far. Now, my confidence in this one is a little bit higher because I think Carl Williams has shown that he knows how to play to his strengths. He has shown he's willing to go to a 15-minute decision of just getting takedowns and getting top control. And it's very, very boring. You might fall asleep once he gets that takedown. He might be there for a while. But he has shown he's willing to do that. I will trust in him. Carl Williams is the pick. He should not mess around on the feet whatsoever with this guy. If he does, he should be cut immediately. I don't think the UFC really likes this guy, Carl Williams, because why would you? Why would you? A heavyweight that just loves to get you down to the ground and lay on you. Not what we want to see. But I think he should probably win this fight because Diniz not showing great takedown defense. He's an ex-kickboxer. I know he's probably been working on his takedown defense. I saw it on his IG. He's been working on his wrestling. But there's only so much you can do, and I think Carl Williams is an explosive athlete that can get in on the hips, get him down with fair ease, and I think he probably rack up top control because I don't think Deniz's get-up game is going to be there. So give me Carl Williams. And we move on to some more women's MMA. Carol Rosa, whatever it is, taking on Pannie Kianzad. And I really don't think Pannie Kianzad is really that good. She's been around for a while. She's the decisionator. All of her losses, well, I shouldn't say that. All of her wins in the UFC come by decision. And if this fight goes to a decision, there is a reality where she could get her hand raised. But I'm going to trust in Carol Rosa to go out there and be the better fighter because she is. And I think her stand-up is probably a little bit more impactful. Pannie's more of a volume monster. I don't really see her hurting Carol Rosa with much. And she took all of Irene Aldana's best shots. I don't think Pannie Kianzad has the boxing that Aldana does. And Rosa landed over 200 significant strikes in that fight. And then you look back in her career, and she can mix in some wrestling, and that's where Pannie Kianzad has really struggled. She gets taken down. She can't get back up. That fight that Kianzad had with Ketlin Vieira was getting her down with the worst, just like the most effortless takedowns I've ever seen. And then she would just get held there for most of the round. So if Carol Rosa wants to mix in the wrestling, I think she can make this look really easily because she has okay wrestling. It's really not that great, but I don't think it takes much to get Kianzad down, and she could probably go to work there. So give me Carol Rosa for the pick. Women's MMA favorite. What could go wrong? Up the card, main card. Holy shite. Toshiyomi Kazama.
Who the fuck is that?
Carolina.
Who the fuck is that guy?
It's a main card. It's on the main card. Holy. Kazama. 0-2 in the UFC. Knocked out first round both fights. Grigoriou lost his UFC debut to Chad Hellinger, who's like 36 years old and like 1-3 in the UFC. So this is a main card. A main card fight. Crazy. Keep this real simple, man. I don't think Kazama's UFC level. I can't make a clear determination on Grigoriou yet. It was his UFC debut. He gassed out. I don't think he's very good, but I think he's probably good enough to beat Kazama. I think he hits hard, and he has shown, or Kazama has shown, he ain't eating shots, man. He takes one, he's going down. But if he can get his grappling going, then he has a chance, but I don't really see it. I mean, Grigoriou trains with some really good grapplers. Sarah Longo, Camp, Aljo, Marab. Like, he trains with some good guys. I would assume his grappling is up there. And I don't really think Grigoriou needs to engage in any type of offensive takedowns in this. I think he should just stand and bang and try to get him out of there. Could gas out, we'll see. But I'll take Grigoriou for a pick here. Up the card, we got Yana Santos, Chelsea Chandler. I'm going with another women's underdog here. I'm taking Chelsea Chandler, man. Yana Santos, she's trying to build me up. She's trying to get me to buy into this, that she's not breastfeeding for this fight, and she's going to go out there and she's going to look really good. And maybe she does, but I just can't buy into it because the statistics don't lie. The statistics, they show me that Yana Santos has a terrible takedown defense. And Chelsea Chandler, 50% takedown accuracy. And Chelsea Chandler, if you have any type of brain, just go in and take this girl to the ground because you can do it pretty easily. I think she should probably do that. I think she will do that. And even if she doesn't, on the feet, Yana Santos just kind of throws blind volume. She's just going to throw these kicks out there, clinch you up, get into the clinch, throw some elbows, hold you up against the cage. Chelsea Chandler can do that too. She likes to hold girls up against the cage too. I don't know what it is with these women's MMA fighters. They just love clinching up. They love throwing each other against the cage. And we could see a lot of that in this fight. But at the end of the day, Santos' takedown defense is just very poor. Chelsea Chandler has an okay wrestling game, but she has a decent top game. Pause. But she could probably get her to the ground and rack up some control time there. And on the feet, I don't think she's going to be able to get outclassed by Yana Santos. So give me Chelsea Chandler as the underdog. She is also a very, very big girl for 135. She might miss weight. She missed weight last time. And if a fighter misses weight, I love it. I love it for a pick. I love it for a bet. So give me Chelsea Chandler. Up the card, we got Chris Gutierrez taking on Quang Bang Lee. Quang Lee making his UFC debut. Supposed to be Javid Basharat. And once again, Chris Gutierrez He's fighting somebody that is on short notice. Seems like his only wins that he's getting nowadays is when he takes fights on short notice. His last win was Alatang Haley when he was supposed to fight like Montel Jackson or something. That worked out well for him. He was supposed to fight Jabid. In steps Quang Lee. Quang Lee, undefeated guy, training out of Minnesota. I watched his tape. I don't think he's really that good. He's a guy that he throws hard. He's short. He's kind of got these stubby arms. I think he's going to struggle with the range of Chris Gutierrez because Gutierrez sticks to the outside. He throws those little side kicks. He throws a little jab. He just circles around the cage over and over and over again. And I think Quang Lee's going to have a tough time finding him because he's used to these regional guys that are just there to be hit. And Chris Gutierrez is not there to be hit. Now, if Quang Lee can mix in some wrestling, then he might have some success, but I hadn't really seen too much on the regional scene to show me that this guy's a really good grappler. He did get like a third-round submission win. I watched that fight, but I don't know. I just don't really see it in this one. Chris Gutierrez is the pick. These odds are definitely not accurate, so don't look at those. Is Chris Gutierrez worth it for a bet? Probably not, because he's going to be a big favorite. I don't know what the line is yet. I haven't looked, but he'll probably be a big favorite, and he probably wins. I'd probably say by decision, though. I mean, this guy Gutierrez ain't really cracking dudes with anything, and I think Quang Lee is probably durable enough to make it to a decision. So give me Chris. Moving up, we got Danny Barlow and Nikolai Veretennikov. Veretennikov trains at King's MMA, where Uros Medic also trains, and he's stepping in for Uros Medic. So that is a little bit of a twist there that kind of makes me think about this fight a little bit more. But Danny Barlow, very good striker, very, very good. I do question sometimes, we haven't really seen him get into these fights where has a lot of adversity, and I think the adversity that Veretennikov needs to throw at him is some type of grappling, some type of physicality where Barlow has to defend takedowns. But if you just let this guy Barlow get into a groove on the feet, he's probably just going to pick you apart. He's super long, very powerful with the left hand. He's showed a lot of good step-in knees, too, in his last fight against Quinlan. Quinlan kind of just turned into a punching bag. That's what he's been in the UFC. And I don't think Veretennikov's going to be a punching bag, but we'll see. He's okay, man. He's a decent enough kickboxer. He can mix in the wrestling. I think he could probably give Barlow a decent enough fight, but I do think Barlow probably wins. I could see a late knockout or a decision win from Danny Barlow. I don't think Veretennikov's going to go in there and just lay down. I think he's going to go in there with this opportunity, make the best of it, and maybe he gets finished, but I think he could probably make it to the scorecards. But I think Danny Barlow probably does the better work. Give me Danny Barlow for a pick. Up the card, we got the co-main event, Damon Jackson and Chepe Mariscal. Now, I just did a video. Just posted a video on Damon Jackson getting knocked out. All 4 of his knockout losses, they are just brutal, bro. And that just reminded me, man. Because I'm debating Damon Jackson as like an underdog bet. Because there's a path for him, man. If he can get Chepe down, if he can get his back, there's a chance that he wins minutes here. But especially as an underdog. But Chepe, I think, is probably good enough. It seems like he's finding his stride now, 3-0 in the UFC. I think this guy's super tough. He's just a workhorse. Even if Damon gets him to the ground, I can count on Chepe to just continue to work, try to get back up to your feet, and just go back to work. And I think that'll pay dividends for him in this fight, because if Damon does get a takedown, a lot of his other opponents have just had trouble getting back to their feet or even just accepting bottom position. And I don't really think Chepe is that guy. And I think on the feet, Chepe has a massive durability edge, and Damon has shown a pretty suspect chin. I think Chepe has a chance to knock him out, but I also think that Chepe could just do the more damage over the course of 3 rounds and get his hand raised that way. So I got to go with Chepe Mariscal for a pick. Straight up, gun to your head. I can't take Damon Jackson's chin here, so I got to go with Chepe Mariscal. Brings us to the main event. We got Marcin Tybura and Sergey Spivac. Rematch. Tybura won the first fight, and I believe he should probably win this one as well. 5 rounds, which will be big because Spivac tends to get most of his success early in the fight, and he could have a lot of success early in the fight in this one. Spivac's kind of a pure wrestler, but his striking has improved a little bit, mainly just for the fact that he can throw a jab out there now. You know, jab always always helps when you're fighting, just to be able to keep that distance. You know, if people are pressing you, just pop that jab out. He's got it now. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Spivac could get takedowns early. He could make Tybura work early. But Tybura has shown a pretty solid gas tank. He's shown that he's a veteran. He's been around the game a long time. He's got a pretty good record for heavyweight MMA. I think he's durable. Still think he's durable. Like, I don't think Spivac's going to knock him out on the feet by any means. And I don't think he's just going to accept a TKO loss from Spivac. I don't really think Spivac's going to submit him. So I think it could be a battle of attrition here. And I think Tybura comes out on top. I think Tybura's got the better gas tank. I think he's a guy that is just able to keep working. He can mix in his own wrestling as well. Spivac really doesn't have good takedown defense statistically. And I think Tybura is just going to be able to outvet him here. And we'll see, man. I mean, he's the underdog. I'm going to take him as the underdog. And I think Spivac might have a better future. We'll see. But I think Tybura has been around the block enough that he can get another win here in a main event spot. So give me Tybura. Appreciate you for watching. Those are the picks, all 10 of them. Hit the like button for me if you enjoyed. We'll be back with the Best Bet show later this week, probably on Fridays. Jot that note down. Best Bet show Friday. Make sure you tune in because we won last week if you tailed the bets last week. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you for watching. Till next time, hey Job Picks, we out.